boy is tired. Your boy is tired. It's been a long day, and we got some stories to tell. Before I tell the story, I'm gonna show you guys what I bought so that you guys can see, because you guys like seeing that stuff. So here, Jordan 5 Low PSG, Jordan 4 Canyon Purple, and an Xbox Series S. And that's in here. I don't really want to take it out because there's controller, headset, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of a lot to pull out and put back. But anyway, that's what I went to go buy. I bought all this stuff for $250. I'm planning to get $400 out of it, so a nice little $150 profit, you know, pretty good, right? But with all that being said, I need to tell the story of my car. That's why you clicked on here. My Lexus is broken down and it's an hour away from me. I don't know what's gonna happen. I pray that everything works out, but you know, only time will tell, right? So today I went to go pick up these things that I just showed you, right? I went to go pick up all this stuff from one guy at his house. Usually I don't like to meet people at their houses. I prefer to, you know, meet halfway, but because the guy didn't have access to a car at the time, I was like, I don't mind driving because I was gonna make enough profit to where it seemed worth it. And sometimes I like to, like, you know, take longer drives, like hour drives, you know, 45-minute drives, because it allows me to like listen to podcasts and stuff. I just am a big fan of driving, so I like to drive, you know, since I'm making enough profit and there's a couple podcasts I want to listen to, I was like, I might as well do it. I didn't really have anything super urgent to do today, right? So I was like, let me go ahead and make this drive. Big mistake. Well, I guess the drive itself wasn't the mistake. I guess there's not really a mistake that can be made, really, honestly. It's just kind of bad luck, I guess. I'm driving there, everything is fine, you know, like the car is performing as it should. And so I get there, right, and I turn the car off. The guy comes out, you know, shows me all the stuff, everything's good. I send him the money, and then I get back in the car to try to start it, and it cranks, but it doesn't start. And I'm like, what's going on? And so I press it again, it cranks, doesn't start. And then I try again, and I hold it for a little bit longer, and then it just stops. It's no longer cranking, but there's still power. I'm still seeing power. Like, pop the hood to see if there's anything. There's a little bit of smoke coming out. I couldn't really tell where it was coming from. And then there was like kind of like a little burnt smell. I wasn't really sure what it was, what happened, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a couple minutes, you know, let it cool off, and then I'll try again. In those couple minutes, the car dies. It just completely dies. Like there's no more power at all. You know, at first I thought it might have been a battery issue. I was like, okay, maybe it's a battery issue, even though I just replaced my battery like 3 months ago. Maybe it's a battery issue, you know, I can jump it. I asked him, can I use that car to jump the car? He was like, I don't have cables. I was like, okay, that's cool, I have cables. But my cables were in the trunk, and I can't open the trunk without the key. I can only open the trunk with the key fob. Now that the car is dead, I can't open the trunk. So now I have no cables and I can't jump the car. So the car's completely dead, and I'm just sitting there like, what do I do? You know, I gotta call somebody. So I call my buddy to see if he can, you know, come and pick me up. You know, kind of help me out. Since I'm an hour away, it's like that's a very, very far drive. You know, I didn't want to interrupt anything he had going on, so I called AAA. And they're like, yeah, we can get somebody dispatched out to you. Mind you, I got there around 11:20ish in the morning. All of this stuff takes place in about like 20-ish minutes, maybe 30 minutes. So I called AAA around 11:50, and they send a driver out and said it's gonna take him about an hour to get there. And some guy was driving by. He helped us jump the car, so he had cables, he had his truck, and so, you know, we jumped the car. As soon as we connect the battery, all the lights come back on. Everything's fine. But trying to press the start button again, nothing's happening at all. At this point, AAA is already on their way, and they're sending a battery representative, not a tow truck, just a battery representative. Already, I want to say maybe 30 minutes out, I'm like, okay, well, I can't cancel the request. I have to wait for him to come. You know, hopefully they're bringing a guy that has a tow truck. That way, you know, if something happens, then it can still be towed. It didn't take an hour. It was definitely like closer to an hour and a half. So it takes him an hour and a half. He gets to the spot, and it's just a van. It's not a tow truck, it's just a van. He tries to jump the car, you know, same result that we had with the other guy. He's like, oh, you're gonna need a tow truck. Well, yeah, obviously I knew that. Call the tow truck. We call the tow truck, and the tow truck takes, I wanted to say, another 20 to 30 minutes. With the plan that I have, I can only tow, I think, 7 or 8 miles for free, and then every other mile added on is like $8 or something like that. And so with that being said, it's like I was an hour away from the school, and the Lexus dealership was 30 minutes from school. So it's like an hour and a half the other way, and that's, I want to say, like, I don't remember how many miles. It was like 60 or 70. And so, you know, that's a lot of money. Whenever we calculated it up, I was gonna have to pay like $470 to tow it to the dealership. And then on top of that, I have to pay for the dealership to diagnose, do the labor, fix the car, and you know, dealerships charge a lot. The only reason I wanted to go to the dealership was because it was so much closer to the school, for one, and two, I don't know a lot of mechanics out here. So I was like, okay, let me go to the dealership, make sure that the work, well, not make sure that the work is done right, but because I've been there a couple times, I know, you know, some of the people there, I have a little bit more confidence taking it there than I would somewhere else, right? But because it was so expensive, I had to go around the corner to some, you know, shop that I had never heard of, never seen. You know, I called them beforehand. I was like, you know, I'm gonna bring this car because your guys are around the corner, you know, just kind of explain the situation and everything. And they were like, yeah, we can, you know, we can take a look at it. So my car is at the shop that's over there. It's literally around the corner from the guy's house because it was going to be free, so I could tow it there for free. You know, they can fix the problem, hopefully, and then I'll just go back and pick it up whenever they're done with it, I guess. It's a Saturday, so since the shop closes at 3, I didn't get there until, I want to say 2:30-ish. By that point, you know, obviously the lead mechanic was gone, so they were like, yeah, gonna have to wait until Monday to, you know, diagnose it and see what's going on with it, and then we'll tell you, you know, what's gonna, like, how we're gonna move forward and everything, how long it's gonna take, all that stuff. And at this point, obviously I don't have a ride back, so I'm like, all right, I'm probably gonna have to pay for an Uber. I'm looking at Uber prices. Uber prices are like $80 to $100, and I'm like, I don't want to spend $80 to $100, but if I have to, then I will, right? So I was gonna buy it, but you know, the lady that was working at the shop, she was like, since we closed at 3:30, I can go ahead and, you know, take you back for like $20, you know, and you won't have to pay the crazy Uber price. I was like, no, that's fine. That's very, you know, sweet of you and everything. And so I was like, all right, I'll do that. But I had to wait there for them to be finished. And so I waited till 3:30. She left to go like drop off some papers or something, and didn't come back again until like 4:30, 4:45. No, it was definitely, yeah, it was like 4:45, and we didn't leave there until like 5:30, and then I got back here to school at 6:30. And so it's been a long day. I left the crib at 10:30 this morning to get all this stuff, hoping that I'd be back by like noon. And as you can see, it took me, it turned into an all-day affair, and then I'm gonna have to pay to get the car fixed. You know, obviously the whole car thing, it's not my fault. Like, you know, there's nothing I can do about that. If it was gonna crap out on me, it was gonna crap out on me whether I was close to school or far from school. I'm just glad it didn't crap out on me, like if I was on my way home, you know, because that's a 4.5 hour drive. Like, I'd rather it, you know, be at least somewhat close to the city. That was helpful at least, but it's just really annoying. It's just a very, very big inconvenience. So car is out of commission. Don't know when it's gonna be back. If it's gonna be back, we don't know. I just figured I would share that with y'all. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.